Hi everyone, my name is Parthiban. I am from Leaderonomics India. So today we have a great privilege to talk to Ms. Pradnya Godbole. She is the CEO of deAsra Foundation. So thank you Pradnya for joining us. So tell me a little bit about your journey. How did you become CEO? What's
Okay,
your journey behind that?
sure. So actually my background is in electronics and telecommunications engineering, after which I went to Canada to pursue my master's in computer science. From there I joined a company called Cognos in software, and I was there for 7 years and decided to come back to India after that and joined Persistent Systems. And my journey with Persistent was for 10 years. Dr. Anand Deshpande, who's the founder of Persistent Systems, and I started talking about the job availability in the market. So it was 6 years ago that Dr. Deshpande wanted to do something for society, and job availability was a problem then and is a problem now as well. That is when I was also looking for something after the 17 years of IT experience to do something outside of the IT cubicle. It was at that time that he invited me to explore with him what could be done around this problem of job availability, and that is where my journey with deAsra started. Shortly after that, 2 years after that, 2015 is when we officially launched deAsra after having looked for 2 years in terms of what the solution could be to solve the problem of job availability.
Wow. So what a wonderful journey. Thank you. It's not easy for people to shift from a normal day to day what they do have been doing and all of a sudden doing something totally different. It's change in a comfort zone. So how did you handle that, and tell me some of your challenges and how did you overcome that?
Sure. Um, so really it was more, I wanted to do something different. I wanted to see outside of the walls of the IT cubicle. So because that initiative was from me, I don't think it was very difficult to face the challenges. Of course, the challenges were to get out of the AC environment of an IT corporate structure, and to go out there into the field, understand people, be very close to the end user. You may know that in IT, the products that are built are for a customer, and the customer might be in the US, so you don't really get a feel of the end customer you're building the product for. But as soon as I moved into the social sector, there was an actual connect with the beneficiary or the user who you are building the solution for. And that is a very different kind of approach, where you need to be more empathetic, you need to understand exactly what the challenges are with the end user directly, and then try and build a solution for the end user. So in terms of comfort zone, yeah, all it meant was moving outside the comfort of an AC environment into the field, and really pulling your sleeves up and understanding what the real situation was, in order to be able to put a good solution around it.
Okay. Now talking about this social impact you're all making from, especially from deAsra, you are all helping the SMEs, which is really a backbone of our economy, right?
Right.
They almost 45% of the exports is from them, 30% of the GDP is contributed by them. Tell me, what can you do to help them? One or two things you can really do,
Sure.
and they should really look forward.
Sure. So when we speak of SMEs, actually we are still talking about a higher kind of industry. We work mostly with micro and a little bit of small industry. And when I say micro, it's really those who have an annual turnover of less than about 5 crore, or somebody who's looking to start a business which is going to be of that size. So it's
Okay.
really the businesses who today, most of them are working in an unorganized manner, and want to do better, want to work in an organized fashion to grow their business or to set up the correct business. Now, if you look at the challenges of the unorganized sector, it is just that they're working in an unorganized fashion. If only they had the right structures in place to, for example, manage their accounts, to keep their, to understand how to market out the access to customer, how to raise funds. Once you've kept your book of accounts, getting funds is not that big of a challenge. But really working in that organized manner so as to avail of the various resources that are out there is, I think, the biggest challenge of the sector that we work with. And what we do as deAsra is try and provide awareness, education, and tools, templates, and services on the ground that will help any small business to really become more organized and manage their business well, and therefore successfully grow.
Okay. So what you're saying is most of the businesses, small, definitely they are not organized because they started with an idea. They took a risk and they really got into the ground. But eventually they need some kind of education, some kind of an awareness,
Correct.
which deAsra is providing through templates,
Correct.
through other means and through other resources. Excellent. Tell me, what biggest challenges the SMEs are facing?
So you've heard of the normal access to funds
Yes.
being a challenge for a small business. Access to market is another challenge. So yes, these are very much challenges. I think the problem is the lack of information on how to raise funds or how to access market. That is the key to unlock the lack of knowledge of getting the funds and getting the market. I'll give you an example. So to raise funds, right? If you have all your book of accounts, or if you have been managing your business properly, and you're able to show where the customers are going to come from, and you have the right proposal in place, then really no lender should have a problem in giving you the funds. The other thing is also you need to be confident of what is in your proposal and not have it done in a templated style where you have no clue what is in that proposal. So I think from the borrower's side, from the small business side, it is this lack of awareness and education of how to run in an organized fashion, which is causing some of the problems of not being able to raise funds. Second example is also around marketing. How do I access the market, right? But if you knew how to do your digital marketing, if you knew what are the other marketing means that you can use, then there's no reason to not be able to reach your customers. So I think it starts with not knowing.
Okay.
And once you have the knowledge of what the possibilities are, you can take your decisions with an open mind and really go to overcome some of those
So
challenges.
can you share us one story about someone, of course, without naming us, just a story, how they were before and because of deAsra, and then how did they transform?
Sure. Well, lots of stories really. So what comes to mind is one of our community entrepreneurs. So they had a existing business. They were running a very nice mess. What had happened was they had borrowed from a money lender.
Okay.
And you know that the rates from a money lender are really obnoxious. They're very, very high. So whatever they were making was going as payback to the money
Interest.
lender. Yeah, as interest. Now they were not aware of what was required to get a good loan. And when I say good loan, it is a loan that is at a less interest rate and from the formal sector. So when they came to us, they were in a fix because everything that was coming in was going out and they were making no profits. In fact, they were in a loss. Plus, they always had this at the back of their mind that if they did not pay a particular EMI, there would be somebody standing at their door to really, get it from them. So when they came to us, we essentially worked with them to set together their book of accounts. We understood what their cash flow was like. We helped them to track their cash flow, right? And then with documentation built over 1 or 2 months, 3 months, we were able to help them to create a very formal proposal through which they got funds from a formal mechanism, which is essentially a bank. And then they could actually use that to pay off the money lender and then go to a more formal lending system. Today they're doing great because now at least whatever is coming, they're able to keep a part of it.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Some part goes
It's a great story, and imagine if that wouldn't have happened, eventually they would have actually succumbed to that money lender and would have closed down.
That's right.
So that's wonderful.
That's right.
What one leadership qualities any SME owner should have?
I think it is the ability to work on different fronts, multitasking really. Because as a small business, you really don't have the means, resources or money to have professionals onboarded. So you literally have to wear the role sometime as an accountant, sometime as a staff manager, sometimes as a marketer, sometimes as sales, and depending on where the bottleneck is, you have to keep shifting those roles. So really being able to play all these roles and understanding enough of these roles to be able to do a good job, I think is the magic that leads to success.
So tell me one last final thoughts for our viewers, especially for the SMEs.
I think it's not rocket science. Running a business is not rocket science. It's not very difficult either. If you are doing it in a very planned and structured manner, then anybody who has the passion for what they're doing and has the risk-taking ability to go through the ups and downs, there's nothing like doing business to give you your, you have your independence. You are not stuck in a 9-to-5 job. You're your own boss. At the end of the day, you're reporting to nobody but yourself. I think that's the greatest thing that a business owner
Plus, you
has to look
generate
forward to.
employment.
That is a side effect. That is a side effect that's going to help the country. So, absolutely, yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Pradnya. Really, really nice talking to you.
My
So, we are
pleasure.
talking to the CEO of deAsra, and thank you for watching the Leadonomics channel.
Thank you.